Today I'm going to be repairing a small leak on this valve. And by on this valve I mean I'm swapping that valve out for a new one. I'm gonna go the easy way out and do a shark bite, but that's mostly because I don't feel like making it clean enough that it's gonna be guaranteed to work. So the problem with soldering is the water has to be completely empty, dry. If you get any water, you got to worry about failing, and I don't live here, so I just want to cut it out, replace it with a new one, and be done with it. Since I wasn't sure how big the valve was going to be in relation to the old valve, I didn't want to come up short, so I got a coupling, a valve that has basically a coupling on either end, and a little bit of extra pipe that I probably won't get into, but I brought it just in case. Now, first step is this is the hot water system. So luckily there's a hot water or a cold water shutoff to the hot water tank. And so that means that the hot water system is shut down. Now, I went over here after I shut that valve off and I opened up the hot tap. And since that is in the middle of the line, or no, it taps off before that. So in front of that valve is cleared. Now I'm going to come over here. Let me grab my bucket. I'm going to disconnect this hose, put a bucket underneath it, crack that valve to make sure that it's empty. And then I'll have an empty hot water line. Okay, so I'm going to undo this line, make sure that it's empty. Okay, I'm just gonna prop that somewhere, one of these places. Yeah. Okay, there. Now, that relieves the pressure over here, so this is draining down, which is lower than here. But I am getting a little water out. Okay. So, that's done dribbling. That's done dribbling. Now I can come over here and cut my line without worrying about dumping water all over the floor. I'm gonna put my bucket over here. So it's close by. Wish I had a third set of hands, but that's all right. Pull this off. Garbage. I'll get my tubing cutter out. And I was right. It's going to be too short to get a nice cut and clean on either side. So I'm going to have to cut back here and add a segment in between. Now, it may seem counterproductive to cut out more and add it in, but it's going to be the best way to get it in there without disturbing too much. Now, if you look, you can't really tell. This is a little pushed over, but it's also got a pipe going up, a pipe going up. I don't want too much stress on those joints. That'll just cause a problem down the road. So I'm going to add a little segment. I've made my extension. It's only going to add 1 inch, which once I got it up here, and over here, it won't change much of my length, but it'll handle all the amount that I got to cut off. I just went so that my cutter can move freely next to the valve, and it's nice and clean. Just because it's quick and easy doesn't mean that you don't need to clean up the pipe before you put it together. I got a little pipe brush. I should have brought sandpaper, but it'll do. And I just want to get either side of that solder so that I don't end up having a chunk of that by getting jammed up inside my new fitting. Plumber once told me the only way to tell if you did your job draining the line is to cut it into it and find out. Looks like I did it. Cut a hole. And put the bucket in the right spot. Woo, doggy! Okay, so that's stuck. Okay, so I got my pipe cut. Uh-oh. Can't move. We'll get it. I gotta set the phone down. Almost there, just gotta get a better angle. Okay, I think that's it. With this all set, I'm gonna move on to turning the water back on. So that should be wide open, that's okay. That's wide open, that's not okay. I'm gonna reconnect my hose. Technically, no one's staying here at the moment, so I should have these turned off because rubber hoses are known to fail. Before I rush through this, I'm gonna make sure the gasket didn't fall out of here. Black rubber ring, sometimes those fall out, you connect it and it doesn't form a seal. So you have a big old mess. So I got that connected, tightened down. That's open, that's okay. It'll help me fill the line. So I'm going to set my phone. Oh man, how am I gonna do this? We'll do. All right, I'm gonna turn the water on and see what happens. Let me know if there's a leak. Open your valve slowly. Okay, the line should be full. No drips. Fuck yeah, buddy. So when the valve handle is straight up and down, that means you're not getting water flow to downstream. So slowly energize the line. Look for leaks anywhere you tampered with, places that you didn't tamper with, because this house is like 100 years old. And no leak, no leak, no leak. This is as much for you as me. No leak, no drip. All right, bam. That was quick. So, in conclusion, always add a little bit in between your valve and the original pipe, because whatever you cut out, you got to accommodate for. That one little coupling only made up for like 3 inches. Okay? So, if you don't do that, it could cause problems down the line, and we're going to call that done.